Cool. Cheers, Aaron. Righty-tighty, 1600. Let's crack on. Who do we have here? Okay, we've got a bunch of people. Lovely. So, the thing I wanted to talk about the other day, which we didn't get through, is how to set up your business in the correct order. Because I have a thing called pre-POC and post-POC. So, pre-POC is pre-proof of concept. And obviously, post-POC is post-proof of concept. Pretty simple so far. And I've made a lot of mistakes in business. A lot of mistakes. More than, as I said, more than most people have. And therefore, I've got pretty good hindsight when it comes to the beginning phases of a business, especially as I buy and invest in other businesses. And so when I see new business owners starting up for the first time, nearly all of the time they do the wrong things at exactly the wrong time. Literally in the last couple of weeks I've seen 2 or 3 new business owners branching out in business for the first time, which is great, by the way. And then one of the first things they do is set up a limited company. I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, there's a time and place for it. So what I thought I'd do, I've got this spreadsheet, or not spreadsheet, this PDF here. For those on Clubhouse, I'm sorry, I will verbalize this as best as possible. I'll go like step 1, blah. So if you've got pen and paper, it's probably worth writing it down. Or the easiest way, unguilty plug here, whatever the term is. Just join the WAP. Literally, look in my profile. It's thewap.org. And it's like a Netflix for wealth gen, and it has all sorts of different modules. And this checklist is in the WAP. So, step 1, your pre-proof of concept. You need to get a rough idea of the business. Well, no shit. That's sort of a given. And I will be sort of teaching you to suck eggs as we go through this checklist, but I just see so many basic mistakes all of the time. So the first one, you need to get a rough idea of the business. Back of a fag packet or a napkin when you're at a restaurant. if we ever can go back to restaurants. In fact, bit of a tangent. Like before all the lockdown stuff, we used to eat out 5 nights a week. It was ridiculous. Like we were spending a good £800 a month on like restaurant bills and stuff. And now we're like obviously having to cook and eat from home, and I sort of miss restaurants now. But yeah, so back of a fag packet, napkin, rough idea. Step 2, you need to choose whether it's a consumer business or a business. So is it B2C or is it B2B? Again, when you're coming up with a rough idea, that you'll sort of understand whether it's B2C or B2B. Typically, when you have a B2C business, you're going to have lots and lots of customers. And a B2B business, you'll have less customers, but bigger price points, typically. And just from experience, if you want shitloads of pain, grief, and just like lots of trivial rubbish, set up a B2C business, because that's what you get with a B2C business. And with a B2B business, you do actually get a lot less hassle, simply because there's just less working parts sometimes. Big broad brush, but hopefully you get the point. So you also then need to get a rough idea of your offering, okay? So it's not just, you can't just go, oh, I'm going to set up a business for this market. Well, okay, what is the product? And there's so many similar businesses out there in the same niche, in the same silo, and some do well, some don't, even though they're identical niches. Why? It's because, one company has a better offering or better product, or has crafted that message a lot better. So you need a rough idea of your offering, and then you need to choose a rough price of what you'll sell it for. So pricing is pretty tough, and especially like when you're first starting. Let's say you've never been in business before, you're like, geez, what on earth am I going to sell this for? So what I typically do, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this, is like the first 10 customers you get, well obviously it depends what business you are, but the first bunch of customers, it's worth just doing it for cost price. Really, like if you're selling a widget, sell it very close to cost price, or if it's a service, just factor in a bit of your time, but get it really cheap. And the reason for that is your first bunch of customers, let's say you're effectively giving it out at cost price or for free for you, then this is invaluable invaluable information, because you're going to go through the whole process of getting a customer, looking after them, trying to keep them, customer communication, all that sort of stuff, accounting, sales, product delivery. There's all of those things that people don't really, think of to begin with. And because you're giving all these products out very cheap, there are going to be errors. Definitely going to be errors. You're going to mess up for sure, 100%. So at least if you're giving it away for free or cost price, then and you're upfront straight away going, hey, we're a brand new business, we're doing our best to try and get as many good testimonials, blah blah blah, and genuine feedback. So you need brutally honest feedback, which is pretty crucial. You then need to work out the rough costs to service a client. I guess, in fact, now looking at this logically, I think these two come hand in hand. Like, you need to know what your costs are before you can price it up. So, when you're doing the pricing, you'll work that out. And you need to know the rough profit you'll make per sale. So, if it's a physical product, a 3 to 5 times markup is a good place to start. So let's say, when I say 3 times, so literally 300%, but ideally 500%. So, and a rough rule of thumb is that, 100% of that will be for, normal outgoings, 100% will be for staff, 100% will be for the product cost, and then 200% will be, for, profit and running the business. So, so basically, if you're buying something for 20p, try and sell it for £1. And that way there'll be enough profit so you don't starve your business. And I've been in businesses where you're buying a product for 20p, you're selling it for 40p because you want to have good value, but there's just not enough profit in the business to grow the business and make the product better, make your offering and service and delivery better. So profit is not a dirty word. And if you do have problems with the word profit, business probably isn't the best playground for you. Profit is a good thing for everyone. It really is. So also, you need to then work out how many sales per month you need to hit your target. So when you're first starting out, you absolutely need a target, whether it be your first £300 a month, £1,000, whatever it may be. So a lot of people probably, wanting to get into business to replace their existing lifestyle. So that's great. That's a good target. So you could say, right, £3,000 a month is my target. And if you're let's say you're selling a business which has a £30 a month subscription fee or payment plan, etc. Well, how many clients do you then need? So if it's 3, you then do £3,000, divide that by 30. Great, I just need 100 people paying £30 a month, and then I've hit my £3,000 a month. I can quit my job, I can go full time on my business, etc., etc. So again, very simple calculations, and all of these points I've gone through will probably take 20 minutes. Rough rule of thumb to begin with. You then need to come up with a name for your business. It largely doesn't matter. One thing you need to try and do is avoid silly, really weird names. It may have great, deep, philosophical meaning for you or whatever, but if your clients and prospects can't even say that your name, or let alone spell your URL, you're going to lose business. I promise you. I would much rather have the thechairshop.com than swankyfankyfurniture.com or whatever. People are going to, And sometimes I've seen new startups with crazy, weird, exotic names which have zero relevance to the business. Don't get too fancy. At the end of the day, the only person that really cares about the name of your business is you. Clients don't really care. All they care about is all a customer or a client ever cares about is Whiffam. What's in it for me? That is all they care about. Come up with a name for your product or service. So you need a name for your product. So like Apple is the company, but they have names of different products. They have iPad, iPhone, whatever, iTunes. So they have a nice sort of naming nomenclature. You need that as well. Even if it's as simple as the silver product, the gold product, the platinum product, you need to name your product. And if it is a service, you need to productize your service. So if you're like a web, I need to open the door one sec. Sorry. on the iPhone. Just had low signal. So if you have let's say you're a web developer or something, which is a very service-based thing, don't do like hours worked on your website. You need to productize and go, right, okay, I can make you a 5-page website and that is this price. So that is your simple web package or whatever. So that's that. You then need to really refine who your target market is and what their pain/want is. Again, I've spoken before about pains and wants. People, there's a weird myth around that, set up a business with what people need, and it's rubbish. It's literally, I've got enough empirical data and experience to know that people don't really buy what they need, they buy what they want. We all want to lose weight. And so in theory, every one of us should be out there eating the best food on the planet, doing the best workouts every day, religiously. Like, do we do that? No. Obviously, some people do, but they have a deeper why. That's why they're doing it. People buy stuff that they want. Honestly, it's much easier to sell a product that people want, not necessarily what they need. So, I mean, hell, the WAP, for example, wealth generation. The WAP is all about wealth generation. That is exactly what every adult and child in this planet, or especially in the UK, needs. But, am I being inundated with millions of customers? No. I mean, there's 2 points there. One, I haven't got enough eyeballs on my business. And two, it's a hard thing to really sort of explain. So I wouldn't really necessarily copy the WAP in that respect. So the WAP is something that the people really need, but they don't really want. It's much easier to sell, I know, Donald Trump toilet paper than the WAP, or. So you then also need to refine your potential product or service to help your target market. So first of all, you need to know who your target market is. You can't just say all women in the UK. If you're selling, a female product, you have to really nail it down to, what sort of age group, what else are they buying at the same time, where do they buy it? You really need to know who your target market is, and don't be scared to super niche in. So, for example, if you take Tesla. Obviously, Elon from day one has said, right, I'm going to electrify the world, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't go straight into a mass market Model 3 Tesla because it never would have worked. So he had to massively niche in first and then spread. So he worked on Tesla batteries and drivetrains first. And he absolutely nailed it to the point where other car manufacturers were buying Tesla drivetrains and batteries for their hybrids and EVs before they even made a car. And once they nailed that, then they went, okay, we're going to go for the high-end sports car market. He made the Roadster, etc. And then you sort of leapfrog, and that way, and you can do that with your business as well. Like, for example, if you had, I probably used this before, like a food van. Okay, pretty much most families have like a super amazing dish that their grandma taught them or whatever. Like we got this amazing dish, and everyone's biased, obviously. But you could easily set up a business around one dish. You simply just find a little like takeaway type van. You cook every day 200 odd dishes of this amazing dish. And then you just canvass all the the business industrial estates for at lunchtimes and stuff like that, and your whole business will be just this special loaded chips dish or whatever it may be. And then once you have a big enough client base, you can then go, hey, instead of fancy chips, we're also going to add fish goujons or chicken or something like that, or another dish. And then all of a sudden, it's just an easy thing to have, easy sort of upsell. So you're sort of building your own pool of clients that you can then sell into, but yeah, you need to niche up first. So yeah, it's like Apple with iTunes. Like if Apple came out and went, right, we're gonna set up iTunes, it never would have worked. So they had to create their own pool. So that's why they started off with iPods, then iPhones, and then all of a sudden they got their systems going. So, by the way, all of this is still pre-POC, you're still in your planning. You then need to list out all of the benefits, not the features. So everyone always focuses on the features, and mobile phone sites are the worst at this. You check out a new phone, like I'm looking at this new OnePlus thing at the moment, I don't think they've got it. They're like this new amazing Snapdragon ABZ, processor. I'm like, I don't care what fancy name it is. Like, what does it mean for me? As I said, with them, what's in it for me? So don't do that. You just need to be like, right, like Steve Jobs said, 1,000 songs in your pocket. That is the benefit. He didn't need to go, it's got X amount of megabytes of hard drive, blah. So a way to really drill down to the benefits and not the features is just to say which means. So we offer blah, which means blah blah blah, which means blah 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 blah, which mean. And when you can't say which means anymore, you've got down to the root cause or the root benefit. Think of a product. So the next one is think of a product which is cheap/free for you, but high perceived value for your target. This will be your lead magnet. So just like I'm in Norwich, and in the Castle Mall, like back in the day, you used to walk in and there's like this pretzel shop just by the entrance, and you could smell it. You can literally smell it well before you get anywhere near the shop. And there's normally someone standing in the middle of the street or in the corridor, giving out free pretzel samples with their cinnamon thingies. And that's it. That is a lead magnet. They're giving away loads of free samples, hoping 1 in 10 people, 1 in 20 will go, or either one like it and then buy some, or some people will feel bad, and law of reciprocity, they'll just go and buy some out of So yeah, you need a lead magnet which is free and it's easily digestible. So and I guess most people, like if it's an online thing, just give out a free trial of some sort. That's that. So now we're getting into more of the detail stuff. So you need to actually set up your own domain and URL and email address. You cannot at all, never ever ever use a Gmail address. The moment you start using blah 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 at gmail.com, it's game over. It's like it's just so amateurish, okay? And it's so easy these days to not be amateurish. So just I use guru.co.uk, and you can get your domain, get your URL, email address. It's really simple. Again, in the WAP there's the web creation module. It literally goes through it step by step. Matthew, Millie's Cookies next door was better. I always went to Millie's Cookies. I love Millie's Cookies. So next you then need a CRM, a customer relationship manager, to organize your business. So it's worth so basically what happens is when you start selling stuff or getting leads, etc., you need somewhere to sort of compile it. You can't have everyone on a spreadsheet because it's just going to get ridiculous. So a CRM I use, in fact we use a whole bunch of stuff. We use Drip, Get Response. Some people use Infusionsoft. There's loads. Don't use MailChimp. It's a bit of a gimmick CRM / emailer. So yeah. Again, you just need somewhere to have all of your leads. You set up autoresponders, because an autoresponder sequence is a really good way of managing your client journey. So when someone enters your business, all you do with an autoresponder is that you set out a whole bunch of emails, and you can put time delays in. So on day 1 they get this email, day 5 they get this email, day 6 they get this email, or day 7 they get a text message, day 8 they get a physical letter sent through the post. So you need to draw on a piece of paper all of these little events, and then you can actually program all of that into your CRM, and it will just do it for you. And that way you can really cultivate and look after that customer journey. You then need a PayPal and Stripe account, both. You don't just get one, because at some point Stripe will go down, and then all of a sudden your business can't take payments, vice versa. So always have 2 merchant accounts, and then your merchant accounts you just simply hook up to your website. So when people buy from you, it takes payments, and then those details go straight into your CRM. Everything's hunky dory. And what I do is, if anyone has, if I get a lead in or a new customer, it obviously goes down into the CRM. Everyone is then in that workflow where they get all the emails, etc. And then it automatically emails me saying, hey, you got a new customer, sweet. And it just populates a folder in my Outlook, and I use it as a sort of a dashboard. So that's that. Next one, you then need to use Zapier, sorry. So Zapier is like an electronic magic box that sort of hooks everything up. So if you have two random systems, it will be able to hook them up. Whether it will be a Facebook ad to your CRM or Google Sheet in your CRM, so everything that enters our businesses, it's all automatically zapped into a Google Sheet, and then you can derive all sorts of metrics from that Google Sheet, etc. And it's pretty handy. We have an in-house web dev guy called Matt, who's a wizard. And the other day I said, "Hey mate, I'm making these daily wealth generation chats, and about half an hour. And every time I upload it to YouTube, can you please then put that video in the WAP portal in the live recording bit?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." He came back and he was like, "All done, I've got that, it'll automatically do it." So now every time I upload a wealth generation video to a certain playlist, is then automatically populating my WAP portal. And so he's literally just automated his whole job. And he does that with lots of things, which is great. Whereas some employers would sort of penalise that and go, "Oh, you're being lazy," but I love it. I love an efficient workforce, if that makes sense, or an efficient team. So if you don't want to go down the WordPress route for website and landing pages, that's fine. You can set up your CRM and we have links and stuff. But here's the thing: when you're setting up a business, you will need 100%. You'll need to make lots of different landing pages. Okay. Lots of them, and you can use something like ClickFunnels. That's $100 a month or whatever, but it's a bit clunky. It's very slow in terms of performance. I mean, we use WordPress, but sometimes you can use CRMs which do everything. So GetResponse is a CRM. It builds forms, does landing pages, etc., and that way you can save a bit of money if you want. But yeah, okay. Going through this list, I'm going to speed up a bit. So we're still pre-POC. You then need to create a thank you page. So when a client buys from you, you then need a thank you page. Then you need to create a single sales page for your offering or lead magnet or even your main sale, listing out all the benefits, of course. And the reason you set up the thank you page first is because when you're creating the sales page, there'll be you'll have to then link them to the thank you page, and then you'll be like, oh whoops, I haven't made the thank you page yet. Okay, so you then half make your sales page whilst you're off building your thank you page, and then before you know it, you've got a whole bunch of things half made. So when you build stuff, you do it in the reverse order. So that's that. So on your sales page, you need to ensure you have a catchy headline, good subtitle, a video explaining your offering with a call to action, a sign up or button or form, testimonials, a risk-free guarantee, genuine urgency or scarcity. Don't make up some marketing BS. It needs to be genuine urgency, if there is any. And you need the ability to accept payment via PayPal or card. So that's why using PayPal or Stripe is handy. And you need all of those things on your opt-in page or sales page. And then, even if you're doing something to get them with a lead magnet, you then need a thank you page for the lead magnet. Again, it's all these little things that people forget. And then you need to create an opt-in page for your lead magnet. Then create a Facebook page for your potential business, because you can't run Facebook ads without a Facebook page, etc. But the next step here, I know I'm speeding up here, but I just realised we've been talking for 23 minutes. You then need to open up a Facebook business account so you can create Facebook ads on your business page. Then you need to create an advert for your product and drive that traffic to your opt-in page. So basically so all of these little steps are there just building your first sort of marketing pillar, so to speak. So you're driving eyeballs to your opt-in page, you're getting leads, you're looking after them, you're delivering whatever lead magnet you said you're going to do, and then hopefully people like your free trial or whatever it is, and then they become customers. So now you then need to analyze some stats. So again, I'm going to skip through a whole bunch of these bits here because it does get pretty in depth. But as I said, in a nutshell, business is just numbers. So if you have 100 leads in, what is the conversion rate from leads to clients? That is one of your most important stats. What is your conversion rate going to be? Is it 1%? Is it 10%? I've got a business that can get along if my conversion rate is 1%, which is really low. But then I've got another business where I need at least a 30% conversion rate to stay afloat. And so that's sort of like that's one of your main business metrics you'll be looking at. It's not a leading indicator; it's a lagging indicator still. But again, leading and lagging indicators is for another day. And then there you go. If you have a viable business, sweet, crack on to the post-POC stage, and then you can properly formalize your new business. But then I'm not going to go into post-POC just yet because this checklist is long. And so that's what we did. So like every time I set up a business, I don't follow a checklist. I just do it naturally now. But this is everything we do, and so this is. That's why we had that experiment. So for those of you not familiar, if you go to myfairypenpal.com, this is I basically put my money where my mouth is because what we teach on the WAP really works. And so the challenge I set myself was that I'm going to set up a brand new business in an industry that I have no knowledge of, and I was going to do it with my wife because she wanted to do something as well. And we had to hit certain targets. So the first target was make £300 profit in the first 3 months, then to hit £3,000 profit in the first year, and then play it by ear after that. We only planned for the first year. Especially with startups, when you start planning too far in the future, it's just complete rubbish. Like I've never ever seen a spreadsheet forecast come to fruition, ever. So you just plan a year ahead to begin with. Obviously, you may have your vision because you want to change the world and all that, but yeah, you'll get there eventually in 20 years' time. But for now, just need to get the business going. And so with MFP, so My Fairy Pen Pal, we did it. In the first 3 months, we hit 400 quid a month, and in the first, I think, 10 months, we hit $4,500 a month profit. And so, like, literally, all we did was follow this bloody checklist. Well, I got Ellie to follow it. And that's it. And so at that point, you then have a choice to make. So you can either be a nice, effective one-man band business or one-woman band business and making $3-4 grand a month profit if you do things right, which is great. Or you can then turn it into a proper business, because a proper business is something where it's somewhat autonomous. It doesn't really need you. Because if you're a one-man band, one-woman band business, if you're suddenly ill, your whole business is dead in the water, game over. And then you're actually in a more precarious place than if you were employed in a company, because you've got none of that sort of employee protection. So what we then did with MFP, like by the end of month 12, we're like, okay, we looked at the business. It was making about $4.5 grand a month profit. I was like, okay, honey, should we turn this into a proper business? And so, yeah, we did. And we converted that $4.5 grand a month profit into 2 full-time members of staff. That is it. That is literally within the space of a month or two, with, training and hiring wrong people and retraining, all that sort of stuff. But after a couple of months, and we're still going through, the teething process, but yeah, we just took that $4.5 grand a month, freed up all of Ellie's time, and we just got 2 full-time members of staff, and we felt pretty pleased doing that during lockdown, all that sort of stuff, that we could still employ people. So yeah, as it stands right now, MFP is not making $4.5 grand a month profit anymore, because simply most of that is going towards 2 full-time salaries. But it's still, I guess, after all the salaries and stuff, and after, it's still making a little bit of profit. But all we're doing now is we're sort of expanding the base, so we can now take in, probably at least 10 times more customers than we had when it was just Ellie. Right, wow, I've been talking for 28 minutes. Jeez, I need to shush now. Any questions? And we've only gone up to page 5 of this checklist, and we've really, oh no, not even page 5, page 4. So, any questions? I'm going to get rid of this. How do I stop it? Just pop your hand up, put it in the chat box if you have any questions whatsoever. It's going to be very short. No? I'm going to give it a little... I know there's a lag. What about Clubhouse? Any folks here with any questions, etc.? At the moment. Nope. Okay. Right. Going in 3, 2, 1. Right. Gonna... Oh, okay, Clive, there we go, you snuck in there. Sneaked in? Where do you get a copy of that checklist? It's in the WAP. So if I'll type it here. So thewap.org. So it's in there. So we have a big old portal. In fact, I can show you now. So this is where I guess Clubhouse sort of falls down a bit. You can't see what's going on my screen anymore. But yeah, on the portal as a WAPper, if you go to the WAP map, which is here, you see all of these sort of sections. There's all sorts of modules here, and we have a whole module on the WAP biz setup checklist here, and I actually made a video per page. You'll see page 1, page 2, etc. And in the extra resources bit, you can actually download that PDF. So, yeah, cool. Okay, the questions are coming in now. So, Adam, expectations in Ethereum, well, long term, really, really high. Short term, no idea. Eileen, how do you get onto Clubhouse? Do you need an invite? Yes, you do need an invite. For some reason, I still don't have any invites. I think it's because I bought this random iPhone, like a second phone to do Clubhouse, and it has none of my contacts, so it probably thinks I have no friends, so it hasn't given me any invites. And Amanda, how much money did you start with MFP? That's a really good question. It's in the videos actually. I can't remember. I think off the top of my head it was like 2 or 3 grand, because we had to buy a whole bunch of materials. Then we just did a whole bunch of Facebook ads. But the cool thing is, and the really cool thing is that the trial. So with MFP, we did a £15 trial. So someone had a 2-month trial, which cost 15 quid, and in order to get a new trialer, it was costing like £12.50. So it was costing £12.50 on Facebook ads to get a £15 trialer, which is great. So every new trialer we got, we were making like £2.50 on the front end, and then we had like a 50% conversion rate from trialers to proper clients. And so we're like, oh, sweet, we're making money on the front end, which is quite rare. So we just went and got 1,000 trialers in like the space of a month or 2. So yeah. Sorry if it was a bit of a rushed one, but I thought I'd just give you a little heads up. And the main thing is, do not incorporate your business straight away. Seriously, honestly, like just don't. So for a start, just run it as a sole trader. Run it through your personal bank account to begin with. And the reason being is that startups are inherently risky, and you don't know if it's going to work or not. So, and also just tell people, oh yeah, you're just running a new project, because projects come and go. And it's only when, stuff's actually starting to work, then you're like, oh, okay, I've got a proper business here. And then you can start going through the checklist and then doing it at the right time. And the reason why you need to delay your incorporation is that you don't pay your corporation tax until about 18 months after you set it up. So if you set up your limited company and then you sort of stagnate and don't do much, before you know it, you're filing your year-end returns and stuff, and paying, and having to start paying corporation tax and all that. Whereas you can sort of delay it a bit, and there's a few other reasons. But yeah, right. That's it for now. Again, I'll be here at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and I will chat with you all soon. I hope it's helped, and tomorrow we will be talking about crypto. Okay. So today we're talking about biz setup and stuff like that. Tomorrow we will be talking about crypto. So come armed with your crypto questions. All right, see you folks. Bye. Oh yeah. Bye.